Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome to episode 300 and something of another pod, Do Not Relent. I am your honored host of honor, Slidewhistle, and here are my two compatriots who are also hosts of honor.
It is me, Immunization of honor.
My name is Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag, and I'll have you know I'm distinctly dishonored. So hey, stop having fun. You kill one guy, it's over. That's bad end for you.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on your bussy.
Oh, yes.
I am feeling dishonored right now because I'm going to crack open a big bottle of Lilanu Cellars Winter White, which I was sold for $2 at my local Major because they said, it's definitely not the winter. I said, no, it is not.
It's on sale because it's very much so the opposite of winter.
It's
the
very
size
hot
of this
out.
thing that it was $2.
Like the size of my forearm, I guess.
What?
It's
Wow.
tall, it's not wide, but it's enough, especially for a oneser. Yeah, you bums, it's the off week. You are not getting a new episode of Do Not Relent After Dark, but you will next week and can listen to like 87 previous episodes at patreon.com/do not relent.
Yeah, check it out. Also, I think we gotta do some kind of contest because it is the month of Pride and we are Proudmoore's proudest. I almost said Proudmoore's pridest. That's not correct. And luckily, guys, we do have Pride merchandise on the store.
Ooh.
I also, just want to say, we're probably the gayest World of Warcraft podcast, right?
Statistically, I think of still operable. You'd have to toss between the gayosity versus how much plays. We're probably the gayest that's going into the mines day in and day out.
But yes, WoW and Blizzard in general have a new Pride merch line. I will say, I've noticed a trend this year. I don't know if it's because the country is becoming more conservative or whatever, or the whole anti-DEI type mindset that these companies are starting to do. Have you guys noticed that a lot of the Pride merch of other things is very subdued and you would to the point where you wouldn't even be able to tell that it is Pride?
Or even before Slidewhistle posted the back of 2 shirts that are in the Pride collection, I thought it was just the tiny Warcraft Rumble symbol that happens to be, there is some pink and there is some blue. And I was going to chastise them. I was going to say, that's plausible deniability. You easily could be like, oh, we're just having fun with it. But luckily, the back of the shirts do have the name of the game that you're interested in big trans flag lettering.
Yes, that's right. 2 shirts that are, I don't know if I'd wear them, but because they're not that cute. Also, back to the whole companies aren't doing, of course they're not, because we saw when they started doing it and when they started making I'm gonna make my picture rainbow, or I'm gonna sell all this merch, we were always like, you just want our money and it's not even good enough for our money. And now it's like, well, they didn't give us enough money and we're not gonna get any more money, so
Yeah,
I guess we're gonna be straight again.
It's a lose-lose, unfortunately. The right-wingers are like, don't you dare make it rainbow, we're all going to get upset. And then there's a lot of people that are like, if you make it rainbow, we know that it's hollow. So it's like, damn, we're fried on both sides. Might as well just stay silent.
I will say, my favorite one I've seen so far is, have y'all seen Hollister's Pride shit?
I am unable to buy it. I've been checking every day. Aaron, they have a shirt with him on him. Or sorry, it's a muscle shirt with him from the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, okay. I thought the shirt said him on him. I was like, that's pretty bold. That's very gay.
They have him. They have the Rowdy Rough Boys, which I never really thought was a gay thing, but it's on a blue and baby blue and white ringer tee, which is inherently gay. So I guess
if divorced to the context of the Powerpuff Girls, if you said, "Oh, I love Rowdy Rough Boys," that's a pretty homosexual statement just to say.
I was pushing. I was like, guys, Hollister, please, you guys have to do a 50 Borealis Rowers t-shirt. It would be so fucking good. Everyone would buy it. But they didn't answer my emails.
the management was all horde, so they didn't even know what that meant. They were like, we were going to be we already had the shirt designed for the Golden Steps of Zandalar, but
maybe they could do golden nipple rings or something. Okay, we had to figure out the contest because last year was Pride Mountain, right? Is that last year?
Yes, last year we asked you to take a photo in game of where you were in Pride Mountain. So what are we doing this year?
Okay, what if we take this one under the sea and we make him take a picture underwater somewhere?
Yeah, I was like, for some reason I was thinking Pride River, but like I think Pride underwater is good too. Maybe it's just like Pride like aquatic themed in general.
Pride River sounds really good though. Pride River sounds great, but then we're just, I guess, is that it's gonna be the theme Pride and then geological location, Pride Estuary, Pride Rock.
Pride Rock. It's just like Lion
go
King.
Go ahead and just give us your best picks at Pride Rock. That time you went to Animal Kingdom and got a cool tourist pick.
I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of cool things underwater. There's some cool statues. There's some, I don't know. Just go be prideful under the water.
Yeah, just be
go
proud.
drown.
Go drown. Go. I mean, and if you're so in it that you drown while you're under there, that just shows us that you were really, really dedicated to celebrating Pride at the Pride Estuary.
No, we are not responsible for paying the repair fee of the deceased characters underwater, nor are we encouraging you to die underwater. But if you want to, that is okay, but you want to be considered higher over those who have not. That was a disclaimer. Yeah, what do you think? You want to give up 3 shirts? Three t-shirts? And it doesn't have to be the Pride t-shirts. Like, just, it could be any t-shirt.
We want to keep it thematic, but the Pride t-shirts this year are kind of ugly, divorced of the Pride aspect of them, so just any t-shirt, we'll give it to you.
Or honestly, like probably just like anything of a set price from Blizzard. But and then like I feel like what did we do in the past? Like we also just matched donations to some gay shit, some like gay charity or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so the only reason why like the Warcraft Rumble and the World of Warcraft trans color shirt is good to do is because they're donating its 2025 Pride Collection proceeds to GLAAD. And I think, is that all of the money, Blizzard? Let's see. Wait, yes. 100% of the amount Blizzard receives from Blizzard Gear Store from the site will go... Okay, that's what it says. But if you really don't want to wear that shirt, because, I mean, I get it. It's got the words World of Warcraft on your back.
It's also in, like, weird, funny, loopy... It reminds me of the Pipes screensaver font. Not exactly an aesthetic.
But maybe it's a shirt you wouldn't buy yourself, but one you would be okay having sent to you. But, yeah, just if you don't like that shirt, just find another $33 shirt on the store. We'll talk about it when it comes to it. Maybe you want the World of Warcraft Snowfight gray t-shirt.
I honestly haven't looked at their merch shop in quite some time, so yeah, this will be an experience for me too, looking through this.
And speaking of coming to it, the episode that we announce it will be on the, let's do my math here, the 26th. So get these in by noon on June 26th, and we will look through them and we will determine our 3 winners who will receive something of t-shirt value.
Yeah, and I will, as usual, create a thread for submissions on our Discord, which you can get to by going to donotRelent.com, where all our links are. But if you would prefer to email it to us at donotrelentpod@gmail.com, that's cool too. Honestly, send it. If you can confirm that it gets to all or one of us some way, I don't really give a shit. Just like let us know that it's your submission.
Hey everyone, 5:39 a.m. Aaron. TLDR. Take a picture, a prideful picture somewhere underwater, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win one of the Pride t-shirts or honestly whatever equivalent item that you would want. Well, I know we kind of futzed around with it a lot, but the key items are prideful, funny costume if you want, underwater, and you can win something that's roughly like $33. Okay, back to the episode.
Look at that, professionals. We didn't talk about any of that shit. We just said, oh yeah, let's do this.
And it definitely went smooth as silk. Speaking of smooth, I was serenaded by the smooth voice of Farron Lothar as she personally read me the story, her life story in Faith and Flame, the new short story for World of Warcraft.
Okay, so you did the audio. How long did it take you to listen to the audiobook or the YouTube or whatever it was?
Well, I listened at 1.75 because by the time I decided I was going to listen to it, we had decided we were going to record in roughly 40 minutes. So I said, let's speed it up. But I did 1.75.
How long was it?
An hour and 5 minutes.
Hour? What were they doing? I read that shit in 15 minutes. What were they doing for an hour? Were they dancing around and singing?
Not much. I hate to say. It was a well-written story, but a lot of it was just kind of fluff. Like, the entire crux of it is, so we know that Farron is in Dornegal, and we were like, holy, she was down there in Hollowfall for like 24 years, and all of a sudden she's just like, and I'm up here now. Well, this explains the delicate thought process she had as she said, I'm up here now. But the main breadcrumbs that they always sneak into these stories were really just at the beginning, and then it was probably like 45 minutes of just fluff piece.
Yeah, they had me in the beginning. In the beginning, I was like, okay, we're going to hear more about this mysterious character named the Scion and more about what's going on with, like, the first paladin, question mark,
the first queen of Eretor, Crochet, that, by the way, she is a direct descendant of.
Yeah, and about how, like, Crochet was blessed with, like, the first light of paladinism, I suppose.
That's another bit is, so eventually in the story, Farron in the past is attacked by a Nerubian, and she holds out her hand and she does a shield of light, and the lamplighter, the paladin that sees her goes, "You can do that by yourself?" I thought these guys were distinctly priests and paladins of, like, the light. Are you telling me the first paladin in their society was, like, 8 years ago?
I was trying to think about that too. Was he more so impressed that it was her doing that, she was doing it by herself, like because she was like not?
I guess yeah, because she wasn't trained. She wasn't like a priest of the light. She just was some kid. I don't know. That's probably what they meant. But while I was on the Stairmaster, because I listened to this while getting fit, I was like, what were we doing down there?
I am living for this Fit Aaron era that you're currently going through. You're gonna come out ripped from all this gym use after they forced you to use their facilities to poop and shower.
Well, I could still poop. I just, you had to really clean it up because you couldn't leave anything and just go, oh, I'll hose it off in the shower because it was nothing but ice, baby.
There he is! There's a guy that doesn't open up his ass cheeks in the shower to let the water in. Just imagine how stinky that ass could be.
Ice, baby. Ice with Crochet. But yeah, and then they're also, so they seem to be implying that basically if anybody has like skin the same color as, oh my god, what's her name? Fuck, not Crochet.
Farron?
Yeah, so like it seems like if they're like brown or black that they are descendants, because she was addressing like she called it a little brown skin girl, and she was like Molly was her name, the one who almost got eaten by the fucking Nerubian.
Oh shit, I even listened. I didn't remember her talking to Molly about being famous.
Well, because they used Molly's real name first, because Molly is a nickname. Her real name's like Maline or Maline or whatever, and then she was calling her Molly. And so there was like some like callback to where, when she was hearing the story, because she was trying to find the story from this magical book, by the way. What is this magical tome that only shows stories when it feels like it? What's going on with that thing? Like, I wanted so much more magical lore, and then it just ended up being like, I'm a paladin. We killed a Nerubian. Into it.
Which is kind of funny because, like, wasn't like the main storyline in game with like Farron and Anduin also involving this book?
Was it? I remember them playing chess. Was there the book?
I hate to say, any book in that society pales in comparison to their big lore guide that they keep in the church.
Yeah, big book.
When she opened a book, and didn't immediately go, and she was awed because that fucking thing was like 5 feet across, then I stopped paying attention because I was like, why are we talking about any other book that isn't Big Book? Once again, shout out to my man Peter, whose dreams got to come true and make Big Book.
Big Book from Peter. We gotta get Peter back on. I'm sure he'll love it. Is he still there? He still have a job still?
As far as I could tell, I'm knocking
All right,
on
Big
table.
Pete.
As far as I could tell.
I mean, I will say this is probably the most interested I've been in one of these things in a minute, because like the description of the Nerubian, that was actually pretty good. Like I was like, oh, that's actually terrifying. Imagining eating a child. Like it was ready to munch. It was ready to eat Muzi. That would have had a field day with Muzi.
It would have just like snacked on Muzi in like one bite, basically. Like I don't think that thing would have been satisfied by Muzi.
Do you think Faerun Lothar would have saved Muzi?
Yes.
Do we
he
know
would have.
if she's seen a Tauren? I know player characters have gone by, but until she goes and sees Bane Bloodhoof, I'm going to assume she saw Muzi and thought, oh no, that Nerubian is snacking on a piece of livestock.
You know, that's something we don't address enough, and maybe the Horde side have like quests dedicated to this, but surely they've encountered quite a bit of people who have never seen such crazy beast monstrosities before. Like imagine one day that just walks by.
She comes from, and I'm not trying to cancel her, but they say a racially pure ethno-state. Like, they're even weirded out by humans. They're like, so used to specifically Arathi are we. So yeah, you see an orc, you see a Tauren, you see a worgen or like a gnome, and you're like, what the fuck?
I don't know, they can make them that small and hairy.
Because like Faerun spent like her entire life down there, right? And then like so what? Like the oldest people had experienced the prior outside world, or no? Not even.
The great Chiron, who I believe is supposed to be immortal, may have seen a standard human. But I believe their society was cut off from the rest of the world for so long that even humans and high elves were bred out of them and are weird to them. I distinctly remember there being a storyline where the person says, no matter what race you are, you're weird to us. Because so closeted, so away from the world have we been that like everyone's a foreigner except for humans with pointed ears. Because Great Chiron is the only Arathi that looks like an elf. So
like pure elf, right? Like
yeah, pure
like...
elf. Like he's just like a tan blood elf model. So I believe it's supposed to be he's so old that he's like, I'm the last remaining elf, and everyone else is like, oh my god, humans? What's going on with that? What are these round guys on your head?
Which I guess makes sense because elves can live however fucking long, like centuries, right?
So we've pretty much established that the middle is just whatever, Faerun fighting herself. I want to go back to the beginning. Okay, so like back to the Scion, right? The woman called herself the Scion and explained that she had sensed something in Crochet, something willing to fight in defense of others. The world would need such strength in the coming age, just as Crochet's kingdom depended on it now. It is why I summoned you to this sacred place, the Scion declared, to offer you the means to defeat this nightmare. What is it? Is the Scion, is it Azeroth manifesting herself, or is it something else? Like, if this story is legit and not fake.
I believe the only physical descriptor we got was it was a woman, and it was a shapeshifter that morphed through a bunch of different races. So also this story took place long enough ago that, or rather recent enough that there were a bunch of different races. Because you figure ancient Azeroth, it would have been like, she turned into a troll and that's pretty much it. It was just trolls for a while.
So, okay, do y'all have a theory about what the Scion is then? So you're saying that like this Scion appearance was recent, like within the last decade? I don't like how recent.
Well, not decade, but it was after the Curse of Flesh, because I believe she turned into things that used to be rock people. And the story described them as their current race, as opposed to like she turned into a Vrykruel.
Yeah, so, and then also Quel'Thalas had been established. Crochet was the oldest of her father's children, born to a noble woman from Quel'Thalas. She loved nature, came of age, terrible curse struck the land. That could be anything. People turn into beasts. Is that the Worgen? Did she reverse the Worgen curse? It could be anything, right?
Just be talking about druids in general, maybe.
Yeah, it could be druids. She could be not specifically a Drust, but that's where I'm putting it, like an old witch race. Or, you know what? I hate to say, just it felt like it would be very railroaded, but she could have been a Haranir. And then that's how we get our Haranir wiggle worm into the next storyline.
Okay, at the height of the conflict, an army of contorted creatures breached Thoradin's wall. And I've looked up Thoradin's wall, and that's a real place. The wall may have protected Stromgarde and the Arathi Highlands from the invading Scourge, but this was not its original purpose, having existed for many centuries prior to the Third War. So we kind of have an idea where we're at, like, ish. Although many centuries could be like 800 years or 400 years, like. So it's not that old, but it's still pretty old in comparison to everything else. And it also specifically says a being of light saw her. Yeah, visited by an entity of light and gave her a vision. So, like, it could be Azeroth, but that's kind of just giving me, like, a Naru-esque or something of that nature, light adjacent.
Have we known the Naru to disguise themselves as other things?
I don't think so.
I feel like most of the time when we see them, they're just like the big puzzle piece or like the number 12.
Yeah, that's what's really throwing me is like the shape-shifting face stealer energy going on here.
So, like, you wouldn't think that this would be like a Dreadlord, right? Like, that's crazy.
So I will say this. I don't think it is. I think it's probably something that will be described later. I'm going to assume we're going to meet the Scion in Midnights, especially because she was stationed around Quel'Thalas, apparently. But I will say this. Dreadlords have been gone for just long enough that I would appreciate them coming back just for a little bit.
Yeah, give me them nasty winged freaks back.
Especially because they took my man, Sexy Daddy D, away, and then we don't know what they've been doing. So, they don't have to be a major threat, but give me some breadcrumbs. Give me N'Zoth fish that we need to return to the edge of Hollowfall. Just give me something.
Hey, we can free Daddy D still. They just locked him up, right? We didn't kill him, right? Is he just in a jail? Right? Am I wrong?
They took the sword that they took Ramornia, and then they went into a portal in like the 3/4 mark of Shadowlands.
So he's out there. Like, I would not surprise me if he comes back at some point, but like I don't really know how they do that because that's like still in Shadowlands physically, right?
Yeah, we could do a jailbreak.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know. They successfully got him into a portal, and that is where the Denathrius story ends for now. The only thing limiting it, in my opinion, is that Shadowlands was so hated, they'd have to roll the dice and think, should we ever follow up on this? Or is this just Goblin Canon 2?
I don't think it can't be Goblin Canon 2. They can't do that again. I liked at the end when Jaina was like, basically, I can tell Anduin has a crush on her, and was like making fun of him, being like, oh, so now you know what it's like to watch after a noble who's stubborn and hot. I mean,
I love that Jaina's just like the trifling auntie in the situation here.
She really is. She's swirling her enormous glass of Lilanu Cellar's Winter White, and she's just trying to cause problems. Be like, ooh, I know you. I know when little blonde boys have a crush.
But she mentioned Jarek. She mentioned Jarek like 4 times, or not 4 times. It was like 3 Jarek mentions at the end of this thing, and I'm like, good. I need someone just to remind everybody how he rubbed that schmutz in his hair.
Honestly, that needs to be referenced and brought up as many times as possible. It should be like a costume at some point in game.
I need a whole expansion where we just know Anduin's around, but it's a random chance on whether you'll get him or Jarek. Like, he'll give you a mission and be like, you need to collect 20 goblin bombs and then bring them to Jarek. And you're like, really? And then you go and he's just got you can see like the grease particle effects coming out of his hair. It's me, Jarek. Anduin told me to meet you here.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jarek here, live streaming.
You gotta fill me in. I definitely don't know what's going on in here. Jarek, we need a paladin bubble. I don't know how to do that. Anduin's the light guy.
Speaking of things, we got a time warp on deck. We got a time warp ready to go.
Holy shit. Whoa.
All right, so these two have 40 seconds to think of as many things pertinent to the topic I am about to give to them. Start off by saying we have 33 named examples of what I am about to say. 33 named examples, and a handful of things that are unnamed, and if you're descriptive enough, I'll give you a point. That's right, everybody. I'm talking about planets on Azeroth. Sorry, planets in the World of Warcraft universe on Azeroth, obviously. Ready to go?
Holy
3,
shit, there's
2,
33?
1, fire!
Azeroth, Draenor,
Argus.
Koresh,
The Void, wherever the Void Walker's from, I forget that. It was named, but recently.
Draenor, alternate Draenor,
Where's all this other lore from?
Oh God, yeah. What is it? The board game? Fuck. There's like one alien species. I'm sorry. There's two alien species, and we got them both.
Time. I believe Aaron won that. I think you have 3, I'm pretty sure, I think.
Was AU Draenor, was that counted?
You said Argus, right? You were Argus?
I did. I believe I did Draenor and Argus right off the bat. I don't even know. I started with Azeroth and Draenor, and then I think actually Immune had Argus first.
But you had Koresh, and that was the money shot, I'm pretty sure, for that one.
I did have Koresh.
Wait, so name us a few of these other ones. Well, I will finish my drink here in the meantime, because I have lost this challenge.
Here are all 33 planets: Argus, Azeroth, Draenor, Dreadscar Rift, Lunaria, Mardoom, Niskara, Shadowgore Citadel, Shattered Grove, Telegros Rift, Xandros, Aranar, Bionak, Ikanar, Singar, Niktal, Sengwa, Val, Centralis, Fanlin Deskor, Fizandi, Koresh, Karakoa, Krexxan, Nathrazia, that's Nathrazim, Navain, Nihalim, Rancora, Shargal, Teratus, Zoroth, Absalorn, Ruvaad, and Kareth. Come on, guys, you should have done all those.
I swear I've never heard most of these names in my life.
It's weird because I have not heard most of them, but I was kicking myself because I do know for a fact that Fell Reavers or Fellhounds come from Mardoom. I don't know why I know that. I don't know where in game that is, but as soon as you said Mardoom, for whatever reason, I was like, God, Aaron, fuck, you didn't know Mardoom? That's where the Fellhounds come from.
There also are the planets Amantul, Agrimar, Argus, Azeroth, Aenar, Golganath, Khazgarath, Norgannon, Sargeras. Remember, all the Titans come from worlds they're named after, which I forgot.
That's true. They broke out of planets.
Oh, duh. Yeah, we named Argus.
So yeah, there's some. The Eldrachi's a planet. There's a couple planets, but yeah, we definitely don't talk about them.
Does it say where these come from? Is it literally just the description of demons? Is like an incubus comes from Gargolbul.
A lot of them are just because, like, Legion, like Karkoa, a world saved from Dimensius by the Naru Tuurir, or Kirksan is a world from which the Burning Legion was reinforcing Suramar during their 3rd invasion. Like, stuff like that. So, like, Rancora, that's from, like, that raid where we're doing the portal map stuff, going around places. We have the official patch notes for 11.17, which comes out next week, June 17th.
A mere 4 days from the day that this recording comes out.
We've pretty much gone over the majority of what's in here. The one thing that we haven't talked about, because I don't think we knew this, or I didn't know this, So obviously we're getting a new quest line, which is what the Farron story is leading us into, because at the end it was her, Anduin, and Danath Trollbane packing up to go to the Arathi Highlands, where, remind me, there was that story and his niece was like, she was being crazy, right? Like she took over?
Yes. There was a story where she had taken control of Stromgarde and basically was like, what Stromgarde should be for the Stromgardians. She poisoned Thrall. Yeah. And then, very specifically, Jaina beat the shit out of her, but said, my best assassin got away. I bet you she'll be a bad guy in 11.1.7. Spatoo.
But we going back there. But they're letting us know we're getting a few new rewards for our efforts. Alliance players will receive a new Stromgarde tabard and the title of Stromgarde. So that's pretty nice. I mean, Stromgarde is a place that we definitely have been to.
The title of Growlina Stromgarde? Growlina?
Growlina of Stromgarde.
Okay. Of. I thought it was just Stromgarde Growlina. That's me. That's my new take on life.
Horde players will receive a new Hammerfall tabard and the title of Hammerfall. I had to be like, what the fuck is Hammerfall? That's where the fucking stinky ass straight up standing orcs are hanging out. Whatever. Have fun with your new 2025 name. Lame.
Yeah, I mean, and ours is the one that's actually related to the storyline, so.
Yeah, ours is legacy. Like, you guys don't even belong in Stromgarde. Get out. Get out.
I'm so sorry. Also, Hammerfall is specifically for the, the non-scoliosis orcs.
What's their name? The ones that gay lady leads? Gay
Oh, the former Draenor orcs. Those ones. Okay.
Maghar. That's
Maghar.
What I
okay. I thought for whatever reason I just wasn't paying attention, and there was now a civilization for just orcs that got the back adjustment in 2020.
You're like, damn, what the fuck? That's fucked up. Hey, if your back's curved, get the fuck out. You can't live here in our player housing neighborhood.
Thrall used to be like us. Why wouldn't they let us in? Sorry, guys, I'm not trying to get in trouble. Maybe you should head back to Orgrimmar.
That makes me actually really excited for blood elf only neighborhoods. You know it's gonna happen. You know
100%. You know, if there's any group of people that would be exclusionary, it's blood elves.
Do you think that they would allow high elves in there too, like that, or do you think it's just blood elves?
It depends on the neighborhood. I think there's varying levels of racism. Some will, some will not.
Don't even think about the Nightborn.
No perps, no greens.
But there's one more reward. All players will receive the Lamplighter's Pauldrons transmog inspired by Farron's own shoulders. So some big, chunky paladin shoulders for all. Which, you know what? Got me thinking, I think they're going to expand paladins to other people. Something about that story that with the Scion infusing the flame just kind of gives me they're making more paladins. And if I'm being honest, I don't like that at all.
Why don't you like that?
I just don't like it. I just don't like the idea that, oh, wait, you mean this whole time we could have been paladins and we just didn't even know because we didn't try? And it's like, you guys didn't get right with the Lord first and now you want in? You had your chance to get right with the light, and only now that you can get it by a cool fire Scion installation you want it. This just doesn't sit right with me. It's kind of fucked up.
I don't know. That's not exactly one that I find exclusionary. Like anyone, I guess other than maybe Worgen because they're supposed to worship the night or whatever, but I feel like anyone can, I don't know, just switch churches.
Well, then why aren't they? Why aren't there any?
Well, because they just thought about it now. Martin Lutherian, the famed night elf, he didn't post his 99 thesis to the base of their new tree yet.
If I see a Vulperian paladin, I'm jumping.
If I see a Vulpera, I'm jumping.
Honestly, same. I'm still mad at that person, that European RPer that was talking shit about Worgen on Twitters.com. You're lucky I don't remember your name or else you'd be getting blasted. You made an enemy of me.
Fuck him up. Or her, I don't really know. Did we discuss the time walking changes? Do we know about these? Maybe this is also being dropped on us?
Only that BFA dungeons are coming, but other than that, we do not know.
So they posted a developer note that says these changes aim to make time walking more authentically experienced, giving players the opportunity to use more abilities and practice their class's damage rotation, healing spells, or defensives. Okay, when players wish to use time walking dungeons to level up, we want you to learn your class in realistic combat encounters, especially boss encounters. So, with that being said, enemy health increased in all time walking dungeons. Boss health significantly increased in all time walking dungeons. Adjusted difficulty scaling via the following changes. Lower geared players are now slightly more damage resistant. Incoming damage should be more noticeable against geared players. Fix an issue where item level scaling did not account for enchantments, gems, and other power sources. You now get 25 badges instead of 10 at the end. And adventurer gear instead of explorer gear. So these are going to be a little more tougher, huh?
That's what it sounds like. I feel like they just don't want it to just be like a completely pushover experience where like the tank just keeps running and solos everything on like the run between bosses, or bosses take like 2 seconds. Yeah, I think they just want to make it more so of a dungeon. Because like I feel like there are times when I don't know. Maybe over the years, time walking has gone one of two ways. Either it's like overtuned and like kind of crazy, or severely undertuned and doesn't mean anything. So I don't know.
I feel like most of the time it's been the latter. There's definitely been like 9:30 we raid. Lynn at 8 is like, wants to get their 4 in. So it's like, it's very easily just like, yeah, we just fart 4 of these out real quick.
And I know we've talked about it before, but the twinking going on, if you just get that level 19 twink in your dungeon, they kill things literally in one hit, and it's ridiculous. And then you are mashing that queue up again button. And so I'm sure that they've also encountered that problem. So I get it. It shouldn't be content that just falls over, because it makes newer players, or like players who that's the highest they do, feel like, well, what's the point of me doing this?
Honestly, it's probably really experienced. I mean, it's probably a really confusing experience for people that are just like new to the game, and they're like, what is this? What is happening?
I don't fuck around with twinking anymore, especially that low. I had a friend, Jared, who said that he was going to be running a dungeon with a level 19 twink. Turns out it was a level 17. It was a whole sting operation. My man's doing like 20 to 35 now.
Why don't you have a seat over there in the stockades?
Are you sure? In the stockades. Why don't you go and sit down next to Hogger? Hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm just showering. And then he goes in. He just sees Baron Geddon. No. Why do you think you were here?
Hogger would be into the twinks that are too low level to queue for a dungeon.
No, he's not into them. He's just the prison guard.
Hey, man, I was just here to eat pizza. They said they had a cupcake for me.
Like they catch Hogger in one of these stings. He shows up to the fucking house. Hey, where are you? What are you doing? And you know how
we have a chat log that said you wanted to get your meatballs wet. That's not even you. That's a different Null. Why did you say that to what you assumed was a level 17 twink?
Leave Meatball out of it. He would never do that. Meatball wouldn't be part of this.
Meatball heard that part and he took out his AirPods. He goes, I'm calling my lawyer. How dare they slander my name like that?
Why didn't they put Meatball in Dastardly Duos? That's the real question. He could have easily been a fucking boss in there, and everyone would have loved it. Everyone would have cheered, stood up, and clapped.
Okay, I'm not trying to be a haha goofster, and I'm not trying to get flamed on the internet. Where is Meatball from? Is he just a Torghast friend?
He's been like a follower in a lot of different instances, and like, mission tables, like those things to send out and stuff.
But he wasn't a boss, right? He was just a Knoll that we're friends with, and we keep meeting up with him.
He was a boss in the Brawlers Guild. I believe he started in the Brawlers Guild. And then he was in the second Brawlers Guild as well. They brought him back, and then he was in WoD, Mission Tables, and then Mission Tables and Legion, and blah, 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 blah. So that's why I'm like, he could be in Dastardly Duos. He has a precedent for being fought in places, because he like blows up when he gets too much mana or whatever. I miss Meatball. I miss him so. You guys do your Dastardly Duos week 2 thingy?
Hell yeah, I did. There was speaking of wet meatballs, there's some water in there this week.
I sure did it. Garrick fell down yet again, keeping me from the 40,000 I need to get this week. I'm pretty sure you get the mount by just doing Dastardly Duos 4 weeks in a row. But I don't want to be wrong, so I got to get in there this weekend and get my 40K while somehow keeping Garrick up.
Yeah, what's your approach even to doing that? Like, how are you trying to feed, are you trading her buns?
No, when the guy from TBC shows up, I do time warp and I hope and pray it hasn't worked. She always dies. And then the following couple bosses take like an extra 3 minutes because they're beating my ass while poor Tundra Cowson is trying to keep me up like, I wish we had a tank. And I was like, I wish we did too.
B-Reser, bitches, B-Reser. What are you guys doing?
Exactly. You're a druid. Get her up.
But this week you can fight 4 bosses at the same time if you click on the cogs on the floor. So hopefully that's not going to be too hard with the lady boss dying for you, because that would suck, actually. Because that's how you get more points, too. Also, we could also just do it as a group. Like, because if Immune got on his tank, we could have them positioned wherever we wanted them to. The question is, could you stay alive?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I'd be down to do it, though. I also realized this week I never got, don't tell anyone, I never got my like 300K or whatever it was in week 1. But this is actually very weird and very unlike Blizzard in these weekly events. If you get 400K, like, it gave me credit for both like week 1 and week 2 by getting that much. So like I'm actually surprised. So like hypothetically, I guess you could just come in week 6 and then just get like a 600K.
Stolen valor.
This guy is over here besmirching the people like me who really did 30K. I had to go in there 3 times, everyone, 3 times. And then the audience all goes, and cheer for me. And this guy, boos, he snuck in this week. I don't think he's very good. We should get him gone.
Get him out of there, Elans. I mean, that's good to know, I guess. I would not count on it, though. There's no way I would count on that. Maybe you got lucky. Maybe you didn't. They wouldn't list it week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 if that was intended. So I'm reporting this immediately, actually. So y'all better get this in while you still fucking can, because I'm about to hop on this and spoil it for everybody.
Why are you being a hater? Like, does an achievement give anything besides just being an achievement?
It means I have it and you don't.
Is Slidewhistle believes this is linked to potentially the mount that you get, but I looked into it and I'm pretty sure you just get it for doing Dastardly Duos 4 times in a row.
Are we talking about the mount that's like a turtle?
Yeah.
Because you can just buy that from the vendor after week 4, it looks like.
If not play video game for achievement, why bother?
No, and I was like fully conceding that I wasn't going to get this achievement because I like missed out on getting the proper score on week 1. But then like when I went in and got my proper score for week 2 and it checked off both, I was just like, oh, nice. Okay, I'm honestly surprised.
This is how defeated I am. The fact that I know that there's someone out there who has all of the achievements except for the time-gated ones means that I don't need to get them.
What? I don't even understand that logic.
Who am I competing with?
The guild.
There's someone that's already better than me. And so
you're not going to see that person. When are you going to run into that person?
Never. But I know they're out there. So it's like, if I'm not it's a Richard Bobby situation. If I know I'm not number 1, I'm number none. I'm okay.
That's crazy. You know what? Maybe all this gymming will flip that switch and it's gonna get you going. It's gonna get you those achievements.
Has not been anywhere because his ass better still be in the armed services, or else I'm calling.
You better get on the fucking phone.
The South Korean government.
They got released. Jimin and Jungkook got released yesterday. Thank you very much. They're out.
Literally yesterday. It's actually really funny that you brought that up.
They're coming. Oh, I'm so fucking excited for their fucking reunion.
If he tries to come and shame me, I'm gonna beat him up till he's black pig.
Bro, you're crazy. They all got out of them. They're super ripped. It's actually scary how ripped they are. They're gonna cut your head off with their
It's
pinkies.
crazy how much they made them practice and do military stuff when the fact that they're like BTS. Like, I know, yes, literally everyone does have to do military there, but I would have put them in a bunker where it's like, we're going to feed you filet mignon and caviar every day. You're fucking BTS. You're not going anywhere that's not heavily defensible.
It's so funny because like the government actually was going to exempt them from going because no, they've never exempted anyone before, I don't think, or if they have, it was like 1 or 2 people. It was not that many. But then they were like, y'all take until the fucking figure this out. We're just gonna go. Fuck you guys. We're going all right now. We're marching ourselves to sign our papers.
Honestly, that's a level of petty I appreciate. So,
but yeah, I don't know. Get your achievements, y'all, if you still can. You know, Aaron. You know what you're competing for, Aaron? You're competing to knock off your rarest achievement from being the same one it was last time, which was
a bunch of Ember Court stuff. Which
no,
is fine.
those aren't going anywhere.
I was like, which is fine. You know what? I'll hang on to those as the. I often say I'm the Fahrenheit 451. I'm the living book of random WoW content. I am the living testament to the fact that the Ember Court existed. Yes, that stinky expansion you didn't like. I did too much of it.
We have alert. We have an alert posted 1 hour ago to Wellhead by fucking Squishy. All caps, massive buffs to all caps disc belt in patch 11.17.
Okay, well let's read some of these buffs. Oh, I see big number.
Squishy says,
We recently released an article going over how the disc belt is barely worth your time. But with these new buffs, it's very likely to be your best in slot.
you'll have to do overcharged delves to get it.
That's fucked up. You can't make his voice like that right now. This is his month. We have to treat him like a normal person this month.
He uses a regular feral cat as his persona, and I'm like, that's not how this works. You can't. You have to be on 2 legs and not be the feral druid cat. That's not. You can't live between it. Fully commit. Get in there. But the buffs are belt item level has increased by 7. So the eye level was capped at 694. Holy shit! Now it's capped at 701 for this belt.
Oh baby, we're so back. We're back in the 700s for eye level. When do you guys are we gonna get like a squish soon? Are we gonna get a squishing soon?
Yeah, we got a squishy coming up.
They definitely don't want us to get that high. I mean, it was brutal. How high did we go before the eye level?
Was it like 800s?
850 sounds familiar. BFA, right? It's coming up, guys. We're gonna, and then we got the level squished again. Like I'm all for it. But yeah, so and then they buffed a bunch of abilities. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck his abilities are, but when you see charged bolts damage increased by 141%, yeah, it's a pretty big number. 32%, 45%. Basically, this belt is going to be probably best in slot until Season 3, says Squishay, and it's his month, so I believe him. The developer's notes, our goal with these changes is to make the different effects more competitive with each other for more players and to ensure that the belt is desirable. But still gets replaced by Endgame Season 3. They literally say it's good to Season 3.
Squishay said, I feel like it'll be used until Season 3. And then, yeah, there's a blue post. Squishay was just voicing his opinion. It will be useful until Season 3.
Okay, let's spin the wheel a little bit, right? One spin, 2 spin.
Yeah, just a spin or 2. You know, we said that we were going to do it earlier.
I know,
and so badly.
know.
I was like, I'm gonna bust in. I'm gonna break a window and say, let's spin. But now's the only time that it feels organic.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about it. It's weird that I wouldn't have time warped. But I know we haven't had one in a while, though. So I was like, we got to get a time warp out there.
Okay, the wheel is here. I didn't have to wheel it far because it was here last week or whatever. But here we go. We're spinning it.
Come on, baby Luigi. God damn it.
Whoa. That we were saved from me having to do a Google search because Nanny Tallulah, I don't. Or wait, no.
For real? What do you mean?
I did. I remember her. Okay, I remember her now. But anyways, she's another day's problem because it is the loving rose toy.
What the fuck is that? Okay. It sounds familiar. I'm trying to find it.
It was the Love is in the Air toy for 2025, in which it is a pet that is a rose whose face literally looks like a vaginal or anal vibrating toy.
Is it? That's a living. Yeah. Okay. There. I was typing the living rose. Yeah. There it is. It is very sensual. Now, is it sexy? This is hard because it's not, but it's like very detailed.
I mean, you look at like a sex toy, like you look at like a pocket poussiche, if you will. Functionally, it is involved with sex, but is it sexy? Do you look at it and go, God, that's so good? Or you just look at it like, this is a hole, sir?
It's really hard. So, like, its description literally says, when being adored, a living rose emits beautifully intoxicating aromas. When ignored, these aromas become actually toxic. That's not sexy. That's just, that's manipulative.
And I will say, like, I understand why this was named Sexiest NPC. I feel like we had to because of the implications here. But I also feel like this is going to rank low because, like, in my opinion, it's a little creepy too, looking at it. The fact that it moves around too, I don't know. And apparently it's toxic.
And it's living. Don't put things in living things that are, you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. But just like last, or not last, it can't be last.
No, we have a lock on our last, but
64?
Is this sexier than Pieces of Hate, or not as sexy as Pieces of Hate?
This is surprising to me. I get that this thing's a living entity and it looks unappealing. This thing ate my booty hole out like no one ever has.
Okay, Aaron.
I'm not saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's gotta be top spots, but I'm saying Arclight, yuck. High Executor Darthalia, yuck. They do nothing for me. Living Rose, I pop that boy out. He goes, and
okay,
I'm hollowed out, if I may say. Goop out.
Okay,
I'm saying we are jettisoning this boy at least to the 40s.
Yeah, because when you're feeling freaky, I can see it. It's not a total write-off every day of the year.
Okay, so so currently in the 40s range, we have Sobrietist at 45 and Audara at 49.
Okay, Aaron, would you rather have sex with Gabbo Blinkwink or have this thing eat out your butthole?
I would rather have sex with Gabbo Blinkwink because he is a living, breathing, sentient creature. Gabbo, I would whisper sweet nothings in his ear. He would do magic tricks while we make love. This thing is merely a tool. But I will say, Audara, no face. Can't eat out my butt.
Okay, because like, if we're talking
no
about
face.
like...
Can't eat out my butt. I'm saying
okay, but
we're
going
between.
Sobrietist can probably also clean out your booty hole, though. He can shoot water right up there.
He can clean out my booty hole, but I mean, like, get every crevice. I don't know if he can do that better than the Living Rose can. So we're aiming between 39 and 45.
All right. I mean, you would know best how this is honestly really a scale of how much more likely you'd fuck Blinkwink or Sobrietist, I feel like, at this point. So you place it within the range you think acceptable, between 39 and 45.
40. I have often told Gabbo when we're in the throes of passion, Gabbo, you need to upgrade your game. You are just a touch above a Living Rose booty hole pet.
Wow. Guys, we gotta do more of these spins. It's already fucking been an hour. What the fuck?
I know. Do we have time for another one?
Hell yeah, my TTBB's fucking nothing. Go!
Throw it. Oh, come on, baby. Could it be? Is it him? No.
Okay, so it landed on Smolderon, which, for the record, is very hot. Like, literally, and then also, like, sexy.
This wheel keeps fucking blue balling me on ones that, like, I'm excited for, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is a totally different direction. Let me see. Smolderon. Yes, okay. I remember now.
I feel like I default to Slidewhistle on this one because this guy is a shaman individual, correct? So I only know him as being the blisteringly difficult boss in the tree, but you knew him as a man.
Let's look at the details of this man. So Smolderon is probably, if I'm being honest, is he quite possibly our most detailed elemental we've ever seen?
Yes, and I do believe when we officially named him as Sexiest NPC, we spent excruciatingly long amount of time talking about how detailed his abs are as well, which is hot.
Even like in like he's wearing kind of like the skimpy, like he's got on some shin guards, no shoes, nothing covering the thighs. He's got on a waist and some stuff that covers his dick. Then it's all abs. He's literally just wearing gauntlets, no glove. He really encapsulating the half clothed, half nude look.
Wearing a helmet so you can't really see his face, but like that doesn't always matter, you know?
I fully expect to be turned around during my encounter with Smolderon. So yes, his lack of facial features is not an issue for me. I'm just wondering what's going on below that molten belt buckle of his.
It's probably rock hard. So he has fingers, guys. An elemental with fingers, that's fucking, you know he's going to get in there.
They're like long and kind of curved. I don't know. Could be good.
What do we got? Okay, so he's hotter than Archivist Fane for sure. There's no getting around that. He's hotter than Militia, right? Is that crazy? Is this top 10 material?
I was going to say, our top 10 is like already pretty stacked. I mean, like, we could potentially move around some of these like lower top 10 ones if we do want to put him in the top 10. But like, I almost feel like
there is technically there's a spot for 9.
Oh, look at that. We don't have a 9. Now, is he hotter than Fangly Hoot, though?
This is a good question. We could just put Fangly Hoot down a little bit, but I don't know. So, I mean, I feel like Smolderon in the top 9 is fine with me. Like at 9 makes sense to me. But I could also see the merits of moving Fangly Hoot from 6 to 9 and putting Smolderon at 6.
I really flexed my opinion on the previous one, so I'm going to leave it to you guys.
I'm really torn. Dude, that's a lot of Fangly Hoot movement. I don't know if she can handle it.
The thing is, Smolderon is better than Fangly Hoot. Sorry, Fangly. It's just a matter of clothing. Smolderon's hot, and all he has is a codpiece and a mask. But the thing is, does that affect Scale Commander Emberthal and Hilbrand, or
fairly.
are we doing as
well? So my thing is that like comparing Smolderon to Hilbrand, I think Smolderon is just a hotter version of Hilbrand because he's wearing less clothing. You know, like you can see his abs.
True. What is better than a man made out of stone who's showing peener, a guy made out of lava who's showing peener? That's literally just hotter.
I would support a swap with Fangly Hoot going to the 9 and Smolderon going to the 6 because, yeah, I mean, it does unfairly affect the other two because Fangly Hoot is above them. Which, no hate to Fangly Hoot, but, I'm just saying.
I would also support this, yes. Hilbrand and Scale Commander Emberthal have earned their spot. Fangly, for the umpteenth time, is willing to sashay on down the list. She's still top 10.
She's in danger. She's in danger of falling out of it, though. But, like, that's the bit, right? I mean, I don't know.
Bit?
Hey, don't say that. What do you mean? Fangly earns the spot that she deserves. I believe she started at number 1, and some people on the board say she should still be there.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. They've been really fucking clamoring about it in the emails, let me tell you. All right, well, that's two guys. We got to start doing this earlier. Someone remind me before we start next. Let's just start with it. Time for a top 2, bottom boot, medium moot, or quite possibly in Auga. I'm going to start us off first with what's the opposite of Auga?
Badooga.
Auga. I'm just going to do an Auga because Boat Day happened.
And that's why I literally cannot be mad at you. So this is the time to do it. Shoot your shot. Auga to your heart's desire.
I'm so sorry, Tommy the Commie. You came into my stream and you said Happy Boat Day, and I was a dumb idiot, and I didn't remember when Boat Day was, so I was like, yeah, brother. I would have exploded. I would have done a black flip like my girl had I remembered that it was boat weekend.
Worry not, everybody, because I carry the energy of Boat Day for the 3 of us. And also, thanks to Gershon for reminding me it was Boat Day in our Discord at DoNotRelent.com. Go check it out. She was like, hey, Boat Day, y'all. And I was like, oh my god, it's Boat Day? I gotta take my earthen out there.
Wait, so what was the earthen boat?
So I ran out there. I'm like, here I come on my earth, and let's see what Pumice gets. Will it be a regular brown boat? No. They are racist, and they thought I was another dwarf, and they gave me a boat that has an Iron Forge branded keg in the back.
Wow. Racism is impacting Boat Day. Who would have thought?
You wouldn't even know what that is. They have a brewery, Cinder Forge. Just put that logo on and you would have been in the clear, Blizzard.
So yeah, they gotta remember. I'm just hoping that like the mentioning of an Auga will get their attention, and then they'll, oh my god, an Auga signal's gone off. We gotta fix this immediately for next year's boat day. So hopefully they're on it. But thanks, Hershey Squirts, Aaron, TT, BB, MM, Auga.
Well, I do have a top toot this week. It's not Auga worthy.
Toot, 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 toot.
It is shout out to my good friend Lynn, who this Tuesday, yesterday, or 2 days ago, as of this recording, was like, you know what? We're not going to be doing we're not going to be doing anything on heroic. We're not going to be fighting Gallywix. Let's just do the raid on normal to get points for the dinosaur. And I was like, yes, this is what I was waiting for. Because I get that people wanted to fight Gallywix on heroic to get their diamond or their achievement or whatever. But it's like, all I was in for was points towards the dinosaur. That's why I had a diva freak out and left one day on Muggsy. Because I brustled my fur coat around me. I put my shades on and I said, this group is not beating this. I am going to leave because I'm not getting points here. And that put me at a deficit. But thank you to Lynn for just going through the entire raid on normal, because all we care about is getting points towards our Florendo mount. Now I'm back even with everyone else, and I'm a mere 4 or 5 levels from my big mechanical boy.
It's still so fucking crazy to me how long this rep grind is for this raid.
You guys are so lucky that I also want this rep. I'm the only healer basically now. I was the only, because like Dust was healing, and he doesn't really heal on his paladin that often, so he wasn't really doing that much. But he was, it was helping a little bit. But if I didn't need this fucking rep, I wouldn't be doing this either. Like, it's so long, and they got me. I want the fucking dinosaur shit. I want that. I want all the stuff. But we have so much longer to go, and we've done it so many times, and I'm like, how are we still progging? Not progging, but just meeting every week for this.
But speaking of meeting every week, immunization. Give me your TT, BB, MM, Auga.
Well, out of my personal standards and character, even though this is the time to do an Auga, I won't. I do have a top toot, though.
Toot toot.
And it's the aforementioned thing. I don't know if it's a bug. I don't think it's a bug, because the Wowhead comments were also all talking about the Dastardly Duos thing, like catch up for like missing a week of high score. So I don't know if it's a bug. I don't think it is, because like, yeah, as I said, there's a lot of comments saying like, yeah, like this happened to me too. But then also maybe it is a bug, because sometimes it's not showing up until you just like relog too, like log out of the game and log back in, not even just like /reload. So I'm really confused. But I'm thankful, because like I hate like when I just get like unable to finish achievements, like the first time walking one, or I'll always be thinking back to the one Diablo event and how I never got enough pages for that book for that Hearthstone.
And the worst part is that like it shows you how close you were. How many pages? You like 7 and 8 pages or something?
Yeah, I still have them in my bank somewhere, because I'm like, maybe someday they'll give me 3 more pages.
I have pages in my bank too, I think. And then, yeah, because for the Turbulent Timeways, it literally just says like missing 1 week, first week, and it's just there forever.
I know, like, and we'll never be able to finish it. So that's why it's the top 2 for now. Whether it's on purpose or not, I'm thankful, because this is one achievement that I will be able to finish now, and it won't be haunting me for the rest of my life at 4 out of 5 or like 5 out of 6 or whatever.
Amen.
Speaking of amen, hallelujah, thank you to our $5 a month patrons. We're talking about Ahoy Vince, Azar, and Digital Dave asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Misket the Orchidee Orc. Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathian isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix, Alternator, Saracen Hawk. Justin, give me back my PhD, Arcane. Kick Puncher, Baba Booey McGee, Sugar Bear,
Time is money, friend.
Dr. Foster, Grumpy Old Shaman, Jerome, Ollie, Adorno,
There he is. There's the guy that doesn't open up his ass cheeks in the shower to let the water in. Just imagine how stinky that ass could be.
Losing the Patient, Gershie is going to East Hills, Duff the Horde Pooper Cooper, Calcus,
Oh, they took our jibs.
Cilantro, Alex A, Vanderlyle. Have a nice day! And Will, aka Tire, Trade Chat's fallen father.
Shout out to the homies. They're the reason that we are giving away prizes for the Pride Week and other things that we do. They fund it. They fund it. So join them at patreon.com/do-not-relent. See pictures of Aaron's cat eating slop. What about you guys? Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at New Era Alex, or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
And you can find me, Aaron the Human, at thebigacheesy on twitters.com, and watch me play Vigigrams at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
My dentist just sold the practice to somebody else, guys. That's sad.
Your teeth rights belong to someone else. Someone else will be making your dentures now.
Wait, my dentist too? What's happening?
He sold the practice to another man. See what happens next week on this cliffhanger of My Dentist. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.
Hey, everyone. Hey, I know I'm a little late. I was supposed to show up in the middle of the show, but I had to go to my favorite bodega in Brooklyn to get myself a chopped cheese. Oh, God, these are so fucking good. Tell you what, though, to make up for not showing up, if you tell me the secret phrase chopped cheese, just send it to me on the Twitters or the Instagrams or on our Discord at donotrelent.com. I'll give you a special gift just for hanging out all the way to the end of the episode. Anyways, I'm gonna keep sitting on this corner, chomping on my chopped cheese. See you guys on the next one.